using the links panel in InDesign. So before we look at the links panel, let's just take a look at the graphics that I have in this document. When we look at graphics in InDesign, we are looking at a preview file. So when we use the place command, file menu and place, just as we did with these graphics, we see then a preview file. Because of the size, InDesign doesn't want to deal with the extremely large images that potentially could be brought in to InDesign. So this is not the graphic itself, it's more of a low resolution version of the placed graphic file. So when we're viewing these images, you're better off leaving them at the default, which probably is a typical display. You can, however, verify that you have the quality that you need by changing that display performance. So there are multiple areas that this can be done. The quickest, easiest is probably to select your graphic. I'm going to use the selection tool here. Select my graphic, do a right click, and towards the bottom we see display performance. So there's a fast display, a typical display, and a high quality display. So the fast display has no preview, and in fact you'll just see a gray box. The typical display is probably what you will see when you just by default import pictures. So this is more of a low res. These pictures still look okay. There may be pictures though that will look not so good. They'll look very low res. So to verify that you've got the quality there, you may temporarily go to a high quality display. And you can see how it just does crisp it up a bit. It looks very, very nice, but what happens now is that this takes a lot more memory for InDesign. So you'd want to go to this high res view only for a final review. So that was to right click to get to those different options. Now we also, on an individual basis, can change it by going to the object menu, and at the bottom is a display performance. It's the exact same thing that we were just looking at when we did a right click. And again, this is on an individual basis. Now if we wanted to determine the display for all placed graphics, we can go under View and Display Performance and change it here as well. So this one, under the View menu, think of View as viewing everything. So this will change the display performance or the view for all of the placed graphics in this document. If I wanted to change, I can also change it in my edit. And remember, if we go to Edit and Preferences when I don't have any documents open, this changes the default. So here, Edit and Preferences. So again, I can change my display here, adjust view settings, fast, typical, or high quality. So without any document to open, this would change the default. With a document open, it'll change it for the document just as it did under the View menu. So there's multiple places to change this. Just be aware that you can change it in different locations. And I think the number one thing is to make sure that you're aware that you're not looking at that high res view of the graphic.